गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om. Dear friends, welcome to this Gita study group. In the last class, we read this Niyatam, eighth shloka, that is Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam Karmajyayo Hyakarmanaha Sharira Yatra Pichate Na Prasiddhyeda Karmanaha. So Lord Krishna was advising Arjuna to do this Nitya Karma. Whatever has been enjoined on you, you have to do. Because karma is something superior to akarma. Because akarma, if you feel, akarma means inaction, non-action. So you have to perform action, because action is something we say in this action which is done in the spirit of karma yoga it will not give you the result of that say action. But if you do not do karma, that is, if you simply avoid karma, that will give a negative result. By doing karma with the sense of karma, with the spirit of karma yoga, you will not get the fruit of action. But by resorting to inaction, you will get the sin. That is a dereliction of duty, avoidance of duty. So that is what he said. And he also gave another reason. Your sharira yatra pichatena prasiddhyed. That is, even it will not even help you in the maintenance of your own sharira yatra, your own livelihood, your day-to-day livelihood. Even that will not be achieved by inaction. So that is what he said. And then in this shloka again, similarly he is going to explain. He is going to make one statement as to when karma becomes binding, as to when it does not, it is not binding. So let us read the shloka. It is like this. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. I repeat. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. So first thing we have to do is to split up the words. So yajñarthat karmanonyatra, it is in one chunk. So this chunk, if you break it, yajñarthat is one, karmanaha anyatra. Yajñarthat plus karmanaha plus anyatra. Then lokoyam breaks into lokaha plus ayam. Loko, after that there is an avagraha, akara praslesha also it is called. Lokoyam is lokaha ayam. Ayam lokaha, this world. Ayam lokaha. Karma bandhanaha. Karma bandhanaha is one samasa. It is not two words. Karma plus bandhanaha, they come together to form one word, that is karma bandhanaha. I will explain that. Then the second line, tadartham karma kaunteya. Kaunteya is sambodhana. Hey Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Kaunteya is, hey O son of Kunti. Mukta sangaha samachara. Mukta sangaha samachara. Mukta sangaha is again one word. It is not two words. Samachara. Sam plus achara, samachara. You do well, perform well. So that is what it means. So let us see the, say our usual practice is to identify the verb. What is the verb here? In the first line is yajñarthat karmanaha anyatra lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha. There is no verb. But even without that, it is an independent statement. It is a statement. Let us see what are the words. Ayam lokaha, lokoyam, that is ayam lokaha, yajñarthat karmanaha anyatra, in actions other than. Anyatra means other than. Anyatra means other than. Other than what? Yajñarthat karmanaha, in actions other than karmas which are performed for yajna. Yajñarthat. Yajñartha means, yajñartham karma means an action which is performed for the sake of yajna. Yajñarthat karmanaha is in Panchami Vibhakti. Both are in Panchami Vibhakti. Karma is in Panchami Vibhakti. Karmanaha, when you say karmanaha, it is in Panchami. Yajñarthat also has to become Panchami Vibhakti. Yajñartha should also become Panchami Vibhakti. So that is why Yajñarthat karmanaha. That is, say, in actions other than those relating to yajna. Then what happens in such actions? Ayam lokaha, this loka, or all the people. This loka means, this world means, this all the people become Karma bandhana, the person, not even the person, not even people, it becomes lokaha, means I am lokaha, means this human being, let us say. Lokaha here refers to the human being. Karma bandhanaha. Karma bandhanaha means karma, one for whom karma is binding. This is karma bandhanaha is called bahurihi samasa. Bahurihi samasa means when you explain the two words, when the connection between the two words, the person intended is not mentioned in these two words. Karma bandhanaha, I will explain, you may note down also. Karma bandhanam yasya saha. One for whom karma becomes binding. That in English, karma bandhanam yasya saha is Sanskrit. Karma bandhanam yasya saha. In English, if we want to say, one for whom karma is binding. Karma is action, bandhanam means bondage, yasya for whom, saha, the one for whom. So, the person who is actually intended is not mentioned in these two words. He is not there in karma, he is not in bandhana. It is referring to somebody for whom karma is a bondage. So, that sort of thing is called, that sort of samasa is called bahurihi. Anyapada pradhanyam bahurihi. Anyapada pradhanaha. That is, Anyapadam is, in samasa there are 2 or 3 or more words. But then in these words, the subject is not indicated. These words only described and the actual person is somewhere else. So that is it. Pitambaraha. Suppose I say Pitambaraha. That is a standard example for bahurihi. Pitambara means Pitam. Pitam means that yellow. Ambaram means dress. Pitambaraha means Pita is yellow and say Ambaram is dress. So in English, if you want to say those red heads or those red shirts, you bring all those red shirts, I say. Suppose I say bring all those red shirts. That means those who are wearing red shirts. I am referring to those who are wearing red shirts. So similarly, Pitambaraha refers to the one who is wearing this yellow dress. Who is that? Pitambara refers to usually to Krishna or Vishnu. So he is supposed to be wearing that, what is that, silken robes, that yellowish saffron or silken robes. So that is why that Pitambara is again a bahurihi, where Pita and Ambara, they don't contain the meaning there. It is referring to someone else. So this karma bandhana is one such word. So if you see this statement as such, this whole lokaha ayam, this particular human being, lokoyam, it refers to the every man. Lokaha is every man. All this particular person, karma bandhanaha, karma bandhanam yasya saha, that is a person for whom karma is a bondage, where yajñarthat karmanaha anyatra, in all actions other than those relating to yajna, he is one who is bound. Karma becomes binding on him. In all actions which are there, which are performed other than yajna, in all actions which are performed, which are unrelated to yajna, let us say, in all actions which are unrelated to yajna, a person is bound. I will explain what is that yajna. Then let us see the second line. Second line again is an independent line. Tadartham karma kaunteya, he kaunteya, mukta sangaha samachara. Tadartham, for that sake. For that sake means for the sake of that yajna. Tat plus artham, tadartham. For the sake of that karma. Tadartham means yajnartham. Tadartham means yajnartham. Yajnartham. Karma means action. He kaunteya, O kaunteya, mukta sangaha samachara. Samachara means you perform well. Perform well, but with what, say, frame of mind? Mukta sangaha. Sangam muktaha yasmat sa mukta sangaha. This is again a bahurihi. Mukta sangaha means one from whom attachment has gone away. Mukta sangaha, one who is freed from attachment. Mukta means freed. Sangha is attachment. One who is freed from attachment. Sangaha muktaha yasmat saha. Sangaha muktaha yasmat saha. Sangaha is masculine. Sangaha muktaha yasmat saha mukta sangaha. So that is, what is it? It is again a bahurihi samasa. So one who is devoid of this attachment. So in simple English, it is that. So tadartham, for the sake of yajna, O Arjuna, you perform karma with this frame of mind called Mukta Sangha, that is with this Karma Yoga frame of mind. Unless you perform yajna with this Karma Yoga frame of mind, you will be stuck with the fruit of that action. So then ultimately what is the meaning of yajna? Yajna here means, it does not, normally the normal meaning of yajna is, you say there is one rich, suppose that the yajna has to be, can be performed by fairly rich people only. A very, very poor man cannot perform. Very poor man cannot perform. A reasonably rich man, a middle class man, let us say. So he can spend some money and then he has to invite about 4 or 5 say purohits, because yajna requires at least a half a dozen purohits for various activities. There is one person for Rigveda, there is one for Yajurveda, another man for Samaveda, one for Atharvaveda, and over them there is a head priest. That head priest called Brahma. So all these people should be there and some assistants have to be there. So all this activity paraphernalia, a lot of material is required, lot many oblations are put in the fire, and lot many mantras are recited, and some yajnas go on for days. So that is what is a yajna. But here we are not referring to that yajna. So here the commentators have said, yajna means yajno vai Vishnuhu. Yajno vai Vishnuhu. If you see Shankaracharya's commentary, Shankaracharya writes, yajna, the meaning of yajna is that all-pervading divine will. Vishnu does not mean somebody who is sitting there somewhere in that milk ocean, on that couch of a snake. Vishnu does not mean somebody who is there in that couch, sitting on, reclining, not sitting, reclining in the couch of snake, while his wife is gradually, slowly pressing his feet. Oh, we should not visualize that sort of Vishnu. Vishnu, the meaning of Vishnu, whenever we read Vedanta, when you read Purana, when you see TV and then when you listen to some Purana Pravachana, there Vishnu is somebody who is a fighter and then who is this, that, etc. But then here when in Vedanta class, Vishnu means Vyapnoti itu Vishnu, Vyapana Shilaha, the all-pervading Vishnu. That is that divine will. So we are referring to that yajna. Yajna here means any activity done in that Karma Yoga mode of mind. Karma Yoga frame. So that is why earlier I told about Pancha Mahayajnas, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Atithi Yajna. You are giving food to Atithis, to guests. So that is again a Yajna. You are giving food to all animals. That is a Yajna. You are doing some other noble activity. That again is a Yajna. You are constructing a hospital. That is a Yajna. You are constructing a school. You are helping some, say some other people. You are helping some scholars. You are helping some scholars to study. So that is again a yajna, because the brahmacharya, supporting brahmacharyas, brahmachari is somebody who is studying Veda. You are supporting somebody who is studying Veda. So that is a yajna. So all these things, they are called yajna. So here yajnarthat karmanaha anyatra means, in actions other than those performed for the sake of yajna, a person is bound by the karma phala. Karma bandhanaha means, he is bound by the karma means, he is bound by the karma phala. Karma phala, that means that karma phalam is invariably there. Then tadartham, therefore, for the sake of yajna, that means with that spirit of sacrifice, with that spirit of helping others, with the help of, as your contribution to the social well-being, you do karma mukta sangaha, without any attachment. Samachara, hey Arjuna, mukta sangaha karma kuru. Samachara means kuru, sam plus achara. Achara, you do. Acharati, charadhatu, acharati, that is performs. Samachara, it is lot again. Within lot is imperative. It is an imperative there. So this is verse 9. So you come to verse 10. Then again he is explaining what is this, the whole constitution of this world. How this world has been constituted. The world is actually interdependent on so many things. Everyone has to do his job. Everyone has to contribute his, whatever action he does, he has to contribute his action to the general good. So that is how the world can go on. If everybody is self-seeking, the world cannot go on. So that is what he says. That is what he said in the next shloka. I will read out. Sahayajna praja sruštva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yeshavostvishta kama dhuk. Sahayajna praja sruštva purovacha prajapatihi Anena prasavishyadhvam yeshavostvishta kama dhuk. That yeshavostvishta kama dhuk is slightly a tongue twister, but we have to slowly do it. Yeshavostvishta kama dhuk. So let us break the words. Saha yajnaha. It is one combination only. It is a samasa. Saha plus yajnaha. Saha yajnaha. Saha yajna means saha yajnaha. Along with that yajna, it is a samasa there. Saha yajnaha. Saha yajnaha is singular. Saha yajnaha is plural. Saha yajnaha means associated with yajna. Say prajaha. Prajaha saha yajnaha srushtaha. Here sruštva, having created. So saha yajnaha prajaha sruštva. Purovacha. Purovacha breaks into pura plus uvacha. Pura means in olden days, long ago, in the beginning. Uvacha means told or decreed. He decreed. Who? Prajapati, the creator. Prajapati, the creator, decreed like this. What? Anena prasavishyadhvam. By this yajna. Prasavishyadhvam. Prasavishyadhvam means prasava. What is prasava? You must have heard about the word prasava. Prasuti kendram. Prasuti kendram is a maternity home. Prasava means delivery. Prasavishyadhvam means you multiply. Anena prasavishyadhvam, you multiply. Not in terms of numbers. Not that you have to say produce 100 children and all that. Not in that sense. Prasavishyadhvam means you prosper. You prosper, you become well. So that is the meaning of prasavishyadhvam. Not in the sense of multiplying in terms of numbers. Prasavishyadhvam. Yesha. Yesha means this one. Vaha to you. Astu ishtakama dhuk. So yesha, vaha, astu ishtakama dhuk. So that is how it has to be broken. So let us see the words here. Let us see the sentence here. Sahayajna praja sruštva purovacha prajapatihi. So here what is the verb? Uvacha, told. Who told? Prajapati. Prajapatihi uvacha. Then what did he say? What did he say? Of course it is coming in the second line. Then what else? What else was about? What else is told about Prajapati? Sahayajnaha prajaha sruštva. That is, when did he say? That is, having sruštva, having created. Sruštva means having created. That tva pratyaya. Having created sruštva, bhuktva, pitva, so all those things. So having created whom? Prajaha. Prajaha means all the people. In what manner? Sahayajnaha, that is associated with this yajna. That is, every man is supposed to do some bound, he is given some bounden duty. That performance of that bounden duty is yajna. Performance of that bounden duty is yajna. 1 second. You may note down performance of bounden duty. So the creator, the Prajapati. Prajapati means, Praja means people, the human being, Pati, not only human being but all beings. Then Pati, Pati means Lord, the Lord of all beings, that is the creator. So the creator told in the beginning, having done what? Having created people. And in what manner has he created? Sahayajnaha created. Sahayajna means, that is along with some bounden duty. Sahayajnaha prajaha sruštva, he told like this. What did he say? So this Purovacha Prajapatihi, one line is over. You can say that one line is over. What did he say? Anena prasavishyadhvam. By this you multiply. By this you prosper. Prosper, multiply. So that is the meaning. That means you attain prosperity. By helping others, you are helping yourself. Anena prasavishyadhvam. By this you multiply. Then here Anena prasavishyadhvam is another one line is over. By this you prosper. Suppose I say by this you prosper. Anena means by this. Tritiya vibhakti. By this you prosper is a complete sentence. Then the next line is Yesha vaha astu ishtakama dhuk. Vaha means Yushmakam, for you. Vaha is the short form for Yushmakam. That Tvam Shabda, Bahu, what is this? Shashti Bahuvachanam is Vaha. Yushmakam, Vaha. There are two forms for Shashti Bahuvachanam, Yushmakam and also Vaha. Vaha, to you. Yesha means this. What is this? This yajna. we are referring to yajna here. This yajna, then what will happen? Ishtakama-dhuk astu. Ishtakama-dhuk. This is again a samasa. Ishtan kaman dogdhi. That is how Bhashyakara says, have written. Ishtan kaman dogdhi. That is, it gives Ishtan kaman. Ishtan kaman means all desired things. All desired things it gives. This yajna is the thing which gives all desired fruits. Ishtakama dhuk. Dhuk means it is from one dhatu called duh. Duh means to milk a cow. Dogdhi means it milks, it gives milk. What is that milk? Ishtakama. Whatever your desires are, all those desires are, they are milked from that. So we say milk, we use that word in a rather metaphorical sense. So all these fellows are milking that, say that organization, we say. Suppose we say all these rascals are milking that organization. What is it? So they are eating away. So this Ishtakama Dhuk is something like that. So it will give you that, it will milk you all your desires. So that milk is used in a metaphorical sense. So now we will continue in the next class. So this Anvaya, sorry, I have to tell this Anvaya, the second line. Anena Prasavishyadhvam is one line. Vaha to you, Yesha, this particular yajna, Ishtakamadhuk astu. So it will may it be something that milks you all your desires, all your desired fruits. So it will milk you. So that is the shloka. We will continue next.